Good afternoon. My name is Jim Conlan, and welcome to the latest episode of our entertainment show. As you know, in part three of our entertainment show each week, we premiere a new movie or TV series that is debuting here in Ireland and the UK, and especially here in Ireland, where Irish eyes are smiling. And up for discussion this week, we have a blockbuster movie coming out on July the 14th. Take Jaws meets Assault on Precinct 13 meets Con Air, put them all together, and you have The Flood. It stars an all-star cast, including Nicky Whelan, Casper Van Dien, Randy Wayne, Ryan Francis, Mike Ferguson, and our special guest this evening, the one and only Randall J Bacon. Randall, how excited are you? The Flood's coming our way, July the 14th, and it must feel like ages ago now that you were shooting in Bangkok with water coming up over your neck.
Hey, man, with that introduction, I'm very excited. And yeah, Bangkok was a trip, man, with all that water. I mean, the production crew did a great job. We were basically in a huge fish tank for hours and hours upon hours. So we got to know each other real good, nice and wet.
And Randall, when I saw the premise for The Flood, and I saw the trailer, and I saw a good bit of the clips for it, I was struck by your relationship with Mike Ferguson and the camaraderie that we see. The opening scene where you see you all coming out of the bus, the Con Air type sort of bus, making your way to the prison, and you're drowned in terms of water. But I almost got a sense that you were going back in time to Con Air in terms of the two sort of characters that you were playing.
Sure. I mean, yeah, Mike Ferguson is a great actor. I'll tell you a story about that because I read the script about 5 times and just naturally developed a real hate for Mike Ferguson. And so when I met him in person, you know, in the film, he has a swastika tattooed on his forehead in the film. And I met him in person. He's like, "What's up, man?" He's like, "Hey, man, just to let you know, man, my wife is black." And he shows me a picture of his wife. He has a black wife. He's like, "Man, and I'm Jewish, man, so I'm not really racist." I mean, after that, I was just cracking up, dude. I was laughing, man, and you know, me and him were like the best of friends on set. So it was great to work with him, and yeah, my character's relationship with him on the in the film is pretty turbulent. You know, it's just a natural unliking for each other.
And Randall, in terms of The Flood, how did the opportunity come about to get cast in The Flood? That's Jonathan Apone.
Yeah. Well, the great thing about that is, look, I've executive produced 2 or 3 or 4 films with Damon Hillen of Hill Entertainment, and Amy Covell, which was one of the lead producers on there. And they seem to trust me with these type of characters. So in general, they seem to trust me, given the opportunity to act in their films. So when it came up, Damon's like, "Hey, man, I have a role it sounds just like you. It's written for you. You would kill the role." I mean, the first film I did with him was Fast Vengeance, which was another indie film. It was one of DMX's last films.
Yeah.
If you guys want to go check out Fast Vengeance, that's on Tubi and a couple other places. But that film, I played kind of I want to say similar character, but like a kind of urban gangster character. So, which I like to play because sometimes I get cast as like the clean cut dad. I do a lot of commercials here in America, and I'm like the clean cut dad. And I kind of have a background of kind of living in lower income neighborhoods. I played football, so I have a lot of friends that came from a background of that. So it's easy to kind of match that tone. So, you know, Damon's great, man. Given the opportunity, if I'm executive producing or if I'm just acting, he'll throw me a bone and give me an opportunity to be in some of these films.
I imagine, Randall, when you're in a building and you're going up level by level and it's getting flushed out by water, but then you also have to imagine in terms of there being a green screen there, in terms of visual effects, in terms of make-believe alligators in the water and sort of stuff like that, and the baking heat of 9 p.m. at night when you were sort of shooting in Bangkok because it was too hot during the day. What's that sort of like to sort of imagine alligators in the water when you're in the water yourself as an actor, because there was no props, there was no blow up sort of dolls imitating these alligators. There was nothing, just yourself in the water, and you're having to imagine that this creature, this 6-foot behemoth, is coming after you.
True. I mean, they set everything to be kind of creepy anyway. So there's a natural, strange fear of things crawling in the water regardless. And you're in Thailand. I mean, there's a possibility there could be a cobra coming in on the set in those waters. So, you know, as an actor, I kind of just play with those fears in the back of my head, with the real elements of Thailand, some of the reptiles that actually exist there, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that wasn't too hard. And then I was with all these actors are really good. Like all of them are really good. They may not be always cast at the highest level of film yet, and eventually some of them will be. But yeah, there was a good sense of urgency and a sense of fear, and our director Brandon Slagle did a good job of kind of creating that world for us. So it wasn't too hard at all.
I gotta ask you, Randall, are you a Starship Troopers fan? In terms of going back in the past and getting to, were you sort of a childhood dream come true when you get to shot with Casper Van Dien?
Yeah. It's great. I mean, to be honest, when I met Casper, I mean, Starship Troopers, I don't even know what year that came out in. I was born in '85. I may have been kind of a little too young to actually watch that type of film.
I'd say you'd have been around 9 years old, 9 to 10 years old when it came out.
Yeah. I believe I saw the film, but I worked with Casper on another film called Battle of Saipan. Yeah, Battle of Saipan, which is also out now. You could stream that. And once working with him, he's such a gentleman and a professional. I went back and watched a lot of his work. So for me, if I'm being honest here, I became kind of more of a fan of his after watching his work. I mean, after working with him and picking up some skills, and then going back and watching Starship Troopers, which is cool now because I watch it with my kids now.
And in terms of that, Randall, in terms of your relationship on screen, is there many interactions between you and the lead character, Sheriff Joe Newman, played by the talented Nicky Whelan?
Yeah, there's a opening scene. There's a pretty intense one, pretty intense interaction with her. Nikki's great. Look, I've had the pleasure of helping put together a film called Maneater with Nicky Whelan. She was a lead on that one. We did together. And then I have her, I'm actually executive producing another film called Terrestrial that'll be coming out soon. That's, it's an amazing film. We have Nikki as a lead in that one. So Nikki's always gracious. She's a great actress. I didn't even realize that, me and Nikki are around the same age. So we would have been in high school together, and she's real cool, man. She played her part very well. Yeah, she just does a great job. She's a true professional. So I enjoyed working with her. I enjoy working with her. I feel like I'll do many films with her.
I hear you about the age, Randall. I'm the same goes myself. I'm a 1985 trooper
Really?
as well as.
Really?
Yeah. September '85.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm May 27th. I think Nikki's birthday's in May too, actually.
Okay, so I'm the baby. I'm the baby of this interview sort of section. So, Randall, in terms of, you mentioned before we came on air about a new project coming our way on August. You might enlighten our viewers and listeners about that.
Yeah, if you like some action war type movie, we were blessed to shoot this one in Thailand as well. It's starring Rampage Jackson, the UFC fighter, and Cowboy Cerrone. The other UFC fighter is directed by Louis Mandylor, who also plays in The Flood. This is one of his films that he directed. It's also produced by Amy Covell and Damon Hillen. And that film, that film comes out in August. And if I'm being totally honest with you guys, man, like we were working hard in Thailand because we shot those films back to back, right? Okay. So we shot The Flood first, and then we took a 2-week hiatus. I actually got, came down with COVID out there, so I was resting. I was supposed to come back to America for my son's birthday, which is May 17th, but I stayed after The Flood, and then we shot 3 days in Malay. So we knocked those movies out back to back.
Okay. Randall, for the final 30 seconds, because I have Doc Farrow on next to talk about Young Sheldon, you might enlighten our audience why they should go out to the cinemas on July the 14th to watch The Flood. And Randall J Bacon, what's in store for them?
Yeah, I mean, definitely go out if it's playing in a cinema near you. If not, you can check it out on Apple TV. I would say if you're ready for some excitement and having some different character dynamics and a very strange element with some alligators chasing you, you guys got to check that out, man. And I'm really happy with my performance. If you guys never see me on screen before, you get an introduction to me. Hopefully, I'll be out in Ireland sometime soon. I was actually in Ibiza this past couple of weeks, and I met some other film workers from Ireland, coincidentally. So when I got this call to do this interview, I felt it was only natural to show some love to the Irish people, man. And you guys, I just appreciate the interview and look forward to having another interview in the near future.
On that note, Randall J Bacon, for me, Jim Conlan, pleasure to talk to you on the airways today. We look forward to you speaking to you again sometime in the near future, but also to promote The Flood this evening out on our cinema screens, July the 14th. Randall J Bacon plays the character Jonathan Apone alongside Nicky Whelan, Casper Van Dien, Ryan Francis, Randy Wayne, and Mike Ferguson. But for the moment, to you, Randall J Bacon, stay safe, take care, and God bless, sir.
All right, my man. God bless you too. Peace.